strutting onto the scene in her finest garments. Enrapturing enemies unfortunate enough to catch sight of her, the dancer is the final female class to unlock in your adventure. After a grueling grind across multiple jobs, this malevolent mistress can strike foes anywhere on the battlefield with her provocative performances. In nearly every circumstance, the enemy can do nothing but sit back and let the dances wash over them. The dancer's class-specific weapons also have interesting and unique properties to aid them in combat. Even with a skill set that hits all enemies with potentially unblockable effects, the dancer is a unit that needs to be babysat because, as with casting, a dancer will be in a state of great vulnerability while their skills are charging. Hi, I'm Mikey from Tactics Live Tournament, and today I have another episode in the Job Focus series. The goal of these videos is to crack open the hood on each class, present technical information in a simplified way, and help you make better choices when raising your squad. In today's Job Focus, we're going to do a deep dive into the dancer class, looking at their equipment choices, how their abilities work, and touch on how to manage their stats. If you've been putting in the long hours to grind out this job and want a crash course on what to expect, or you're crafting a multiplayer roster and want a support character that gives opponents a new dimension to consider, throw on some funky grooves, grab your best shoes, get your hair looking big and pretty as we get into a dancer job focus session. Perhaps you've heard the phrase death by 1,000 cuts. They're talking about dancers and how their abilities are best suited for slowly whittling down your opponent. Staying clear of the front lines, a dancer will find themselves backed into a corner, allowed to freely dance the night away, debilitating enemies through debuffs and stat decreases. While not particularly impactful alone, having multiple dancers will erode the sturdiest of foes in a much speedier fashion, no pun intended. As you might expect, this job needs freedom of movement for their performative arts, so don't expect a lot in the way of protection. Weapon options are unique and limited, and don't clearly define a dancer as a melee warrior. Their stats don't give you a lot to work with either, which can make some players question whether the extraordinary grind is worth the effort. To unlock the dancer, an exclusively female job, you will need a level 2 squire, a level 3 knight, a level 4 monk, a level 5 geomancer, a level 3 archer, a level 4 thief, and a level 5 dragoon. You've taken the world tour in melee units, and for the coup de grace you get a support specialist? An interesting and twisting path for sure, so let's see where else she takes us on this journey. Let's dive into our options for what our Maiden of Mayhem can wear to deliver maximum value, starting by taking a closer look at the weapon types available to her. Cloths are lunging weapons like polearms and poles, capable of striking 2 tiles away at a max height difference of 3. Their damage is calculated by the average of your PA and MA multiplied by weapon power. Since we're in a female-only class, let's go ahead and look at handbags. These are striking weapons and have a damage profile like flails and axes. This is a random number between 1 and your PA multiplied by weapon power. If neither of these suit your needs, there's always knives to equip and explained in further detail in the Thief Job Focus. Out of all these choices, I would suggest getting a handbag, with Hydroscale bag for the +1 speed being my favorite. You usually don't want to be in melee range and can benefit from the stat boost the whole battle. For the head, I would suggest hair adornments. The classic ribbon is a staple here. A decent alternative would be acacia hat or thief's cap for speed boosts. Our options for armor are limited to clothes, so let's try to again grant whatever protections we can. Minerva Bustier is great for dancers, otherwise Brave Suit for the re-raise is an excellent choice. If you're still chasing speed boosts, definitely consider Ninja Gear and Mirage Vest. For an accessory, you can boost your PA with Bracer for bigger bag and ability damage, or increase your speed with Brigand's Gloves or Imperial Armband. Perfumes are an excellent option as well, so Tainar Rouge or Sortilège for the Protect and Shell are highly recommended. The dance skill set is a performing action with varying degrees of success, length of performance, and have varying effects. We'll get started with an overview and then break down our first two abilities. In this chart, we detail the success rates of each ability, how often the dance executes in clock ticks, and the effect of the dance to all enemy units. Note that swiftness has no effect on the performing time of dances, and there is no way to decrease their cast time. All dance skills will put the dancer into a performing state, exactly like casting, and will not stop until her next turn, where she can cancel it by executing another action. Any enemy units that are afflicted with sleep status will not be affected by dance skills. Dance skills cannot otherwise be evaded, do not require line of sight, and hit all non-KO enemy units. The first two skills, Mincing Minuet and Witch Hunt, have a variable damage based around the dancer's PA. The formula is your PA plus your PA multiplied by your bravery as a percentage. A quick and easy way to get these skills to do more damage is simply increase your bravery. For Slow Dance, Polka, and Disillusion, you have a 50% chance to reduce the unit's speed, PA, and MA by 1, respectively. Over time, this can really wither troops down to mere shadows of their former selves. Forbidden Dance has a 50% chance to inflict a random status ailment among the following: Blind, Confuse, Silence, Toad, Poison, Slow, Stop, or Sleep. Last Waltz has a 34% chance to reset each target's CT back to 0. Absolutely devastating ability if you have the time to wait, and the luck to ensure it hits. On to reaction abilities now, starting with Fury, which increases your PA by 1 each time you lose HP. This isn't great for this job as you want to avoid damage, but considerable for high HP brawlers. Next we have Bravery Boost, which will increase your bravery by 3 whenever you take physical damage only. For movement abilities there are 2, the first being Jump plus 3, which is pretty self-explanatory. Then we have Fly for a mind-blowing 5,000 job points, which allows you to move over any obstacles unimpeded. It's an unnecessary skill and mostly a flex, but you can't deny how stylish it looks. Moving on to the dancer's stats, where we can hope for some kind of benefit to help us in our dance routines. Don't get your hopes up on having a dancer play a burly fighter, as 3 move and 3 jump don't inspire a lot of confidence alongside a 5% class evasion rate. She already has the makings of a back row caster. For class stats, we take a 60 penalty to our HP, 50 to our MP, we get a small boost with 110 to our PA, 95 to our MA, and our speed is left alone at 100. Besides PA, this is a pretty weak stat line to be rewarded with when you switch to this job, so let's see what growth stats look like. Well, they don't look good, with bottom of the barrel HP and MP growth, very bad PA growth, and standard MA and speed growth. While she has the profile for de-leveling characters with, there is nothing to be excited about to level her with. It looks like it's best to grind out as good a stat line as possible beforehand if you want to use this job as your primary skill set. A late game job that requires significant investment in melee classes while offering seemingly little to demonstrate all of that hard work. The dancer has a distinct trait of delivering more value the longer the battle lasts, and the longer she is able to dance uninterrupted. Dancers can equip cloth weapons, which are lunging weapons, and factor in your PA and MA to determine their damage. While cloths are unique to this job and boast huge block rates, bags are a superior choice for a weapon. While dancing, these units are extremely vulnerable to attacks, as they are treated as constantly casting. You can cancel your dance by selecting a different action to carry out on your next turn. Meanwhile, best to keep them safe in the back lines. Mincing Minuet and Witch Hunt both use your PA and Bravery to determine damage to HP and MP. Getting your Bravery boosted is an efficient way to increase the output of these abilities. Since Dancer's class stats make her a weak melee combatant, it's best to pick equipment that gives her better defense or protection, or load up on speed to ensure she can act often enough to get out of harm's way. Dancers do not shine in quick fights or by themselves. If you know you're going to be in it for the long haul, best to bring more than one dancer to ensure your foes are softened up for the rest of your squad. This concludes this episode of the Job Focus series with The Dancer. Today's video was determined by you folks in the community and your votes on which job you wanted to see covered next. Seeing your thoughts and requests really got me excited to produce this content, and I wanted to thank all of you who participated. Thanks everyone. It may seem like there wasn't too much good stuff to say about The Dancer, but I do remember fondly the games with multiples of these sassy ladies, twisting and turning, blasting enemies all over the map before they could even reach me. Throw a mime into the mix and you got a dance party that can go all night. Sometimes it's best just to try these things out on your own, experiment with combinations of equipment, abilities to make something that's unique to you. And if you're in the mood for some experimental testing, we are always looking for more active members in the Tactics League community, where multiplayer War of the Lions games are being played every day. Swing by via the links in the description below, and we'll help you get started. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing to help spread the word of Tactics multiplayer, or share this video with a friend who may be interested. And lastly, drop a like if you enjoyed today's content. And thank you everyone for helping the channel out. This is Mikey from Tactics Live Tournament signing off. I will see you in the next video. And until then, be well everyone.